All right, all right. So today I want to go over how to create AI agents inside of GoHighLevel. More specifically, I want to talk about creating a conversation chatbot that can be installed into your text messaging, your live chat, as well as your Instagram and Facebook Messenger as well. So it could be closing deals for you, answering frequently asked questions. All you have to do is set it up. So first, you're going to get started with a GoHighLevel account. There should be a link down in the description. You can get a free trial. I'll make an overview of GoHighLevel at another time, but as a quick overview, GoHighLevel is one of the most robust CRMs and automation builders that you can find. It's very customizable, and they're constantly coming out with new features that's going to make your life easier as you grow as a business owner. So as I said today, we're going to be building AI agents. So the first thing we're going to do is come in. We're under one of my client sub accounts right now. This is for Fortitude Drywall and Paint. And you're just going to click the AI agents button. Now, first, what we're going to put together is a conversation AI. So what you should know about conversation AIs first, right, is that they're going to be installed into your text messaging, your live chat, uh, your Instagram DMs, and your Facebook. And the idea there is to have it book appointments as well as potentially just answer frequently asked questions and gather customer qualifying information. So let's get into how we actually do that. First thing we're going to do is come up here to this tab where it says Conversation AI. We're going to click it. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to create a bot. Okay. Now, it's going to give us two options. It could be a general Q&A bot or an appointment booking bot. For now, let's go ahead and do an appointment booking bot. So we hit next here. Now, this is where you start to fill out all of your brand info. So it's going to ask for things like your brand name, your website, your email that you want to use. So, okay. And then you also want to add the phone number for your business, right? And now it's going to ask you to describe your tone. So that just means, how is the bot going to be communicating with people? Is it going to be more friendly? Is it going to be more focused on professionalism? Is it going to be more confident or engaging? Depending on the kind of bot that you're building, I prefer engaging. Okay. And so we come down here. There is an option to add some additional information, and this is what's going to help the bot perform better. So if we wanted to get a better understanding of our target audience, or if we wanted to give the bot a better understanding of our target audience, this is where we would feed it that information. So we would tell our bot income level, so our ideal client's income level. We would also put in location. In Mario's case, he's looking for homeowners or business owners or real estate investors, right? And the more information that you can give this about who your ideal client is and what their goals are, the better that your bot will perform, because the bot will also handle minor things like objections or things like that, right? Where a person might say, oh, well, I was interested in doing something like this, but ABC person scammed me before or something. By preempting the bot with information about who your ideal customer is, they can come up with the ability to overcome those objections and say, well, hey, we understand that you might have had a bad experience. We only work with ABC type of client. We know them well, we understand them well, and we do great work. We'd be more than happy to send a portfolio over to you. Point is, the bot can communicate and alleviate all their issues, right? Now, customer pain points, that's pretty simple. You're just adding what are the frustrations that your problem, that your clients might be facing, right? So in Fortitude's situation, maybe the pain point is there's old faded paint on their house, or they're seeing cracked paint, or they just don't like the color of their home, or they have a vision for their home and they need to go ahead and get it situated, right? And so now we come in here, and this is where we're able to feed it more and more information, things like brand promise, brand values. What does your brand do? What makes you better than your competitors? And by filling out all of this information, you just make the bot that much smarter. So it's very important to almost overshare on these parts, because the more information you give the bot, the better it can perform. Now, your unique selling proposition, that's where you're going to be adding any sort of discount sales, specific offers, things like that you might want to at least have the bot be aware about, right? Because if you install this bot inside of your Instagram, post on Instagram about a new offer that you recently put out or something like that, if someone DMs you about that particular offer, you want the bot to be aware of it so they can say, oh yes, we're very familiar, we're excited to help you get started. When would you be available for an appointment? And they would go through the qualifying process, right? So it just allows your bot to be more and more human by filling this information out to the best of your ability. So we've got a few more different ticks here. You've got risks of inaction. So, and then here's something I want to show you too. If for some reason you're having trouble kind of answering these questions, or you've never actually explored it, what I would suggest doing is actually coming over to ChatGPT and just opening up a chat here and simply asking ChatGPT, hey, can you analyze my business? And you can give ChatGPT your website. Here is my website, Fortitude Drywall and Paint.com. We are a residential interior and exterior painting company. I would like to know who my ideal client is, right? Now, it's going to start giving a little bit of context based on the website that you gave them, right? But this isn't all the information that you need, right? But it's starting to break things down because it's pulling from the internet and it's saying, these are the kinds of people that maybe you should consider targeting. And what you want to do is that you know about your ideal client, you feed this to ChatGPT, and then you are able to take this information and simply move it over into here, right? So customer pain points, boom, here are pain points. If you want to know your ideal client demographics, boom, they're right here. You take them and you copy and paste them over, right? And if you need to refine this with data or just with your personal knowledge, it's just as simple as saying, hey, I've got ABC amount of knowledge about this particular thing, or we tend to focus on more high income people because we only want the largest possible projects, whatever it is, right? You have to be very descriptive about your business model, and you feed it to ChatGPT, and it will give you an itemized list of everything that you need in order to train this chatbot. So that was a little bit of a side note here, but as you can see, once you've built out your ideal client analysis, once you've built out your business analysis in ChatGPT, then it's just as simple as coming in and actually asking it these questions. So, what do you think makes me better than my competitors? Or what could I do to position myself better than my competitors? And the more information that you give these bots, the better that they are going to perform. So we're going to hit save here. And now the brand voice is there. So we're going to hit next. And now we're looking at the different settings. Okay. So you want to give your bot a name. In this case, the owner's name is Mario. So we'll call this Mario bot. Okay. Now, when you come down here, you'll see that all of the boxes are ticked on right now. You could make individual bots for each inbox, or you could have one general bot that has one overall goal. So I prefer one general bot that has one overall goal that's really well trained and can just have a bunch of different conversations, but ultimately it's up to you. In this case, I'd like to, let's say I just want to build the bot for Instagram, Facebook, and SMS. It's just as simple as just taking off the ones that don't apply, right? Now, the initial message. So whenever the bot does get prompted, what does the bot say? If you leave this blank, the bot's going to use a generic greeting, and the generic greeting is fine, but I still think that it's always good to set a standard and tell the bot exactly what to say when they're greeting someone. Okay. You also want to look at the wait time before responding. I like to boost it to maybe about 5 to 10 seconds. So we'll go with 5 seconds, right? But anywhere from 5 to 10 seconds, I just like it to feel a little more human as opposed to just instantly firing back and they know they're just talking to a chatbot, right? So the initial message, hey, how can we help? Something like that, right? And then we're hitting next. Now, this is where we get into the gritty here. This is where we're able to define the goals of the bot, right? So here we're seeing what information a customer needs to collect, what information a customer needs to give us in order for us to book an appointment or get them on the calendar, what have you, right? So in this case, they've already got the name, email address, phone number as something that they need to collect and confirm. But if you're looking to qualify them for an appointment, maybe you add street address, maybe you add city, right? And so then you come down here, it's going to describe the question, and there's already some pre-filled stuff, right? And it auto connects to the contact field in advance. So if the user is asking for their name, it auto populates their name. If the bot asks for their contact information via email, it updates the email feed, so on and so forth, right? Now, you could add a question, right? And then once that question is asked, you can update where that field is going to update so that you have all that information on your side, right? Now, I think this is very important because you will have people that reach out to you and you don't want them to get qualified every single time they come through the door if they've already filled out this information. So you want to turn on this skip if already filled button. That way, if somebody reaches out to you and they've already filled out their name, email address, and phone number, and it's already listed in the system, the bot isn't going to go through the process of qualifying them for it again. Now, here is appointment booking. So after it gets through the entire qualification process, asks all the questions, everything like that, you can have it book an appointment. So you click a calendar, hit estimate calendar or installation calendar, whichever one you want to build out, right? And then if you have any specific workflows, and I'll do another video on workflows so you guys can see how to build out some different automations. But this means that certain automations are going to be triggered after the after the appointment is booked. Now you can either have them go into the workflow by selecting it here, or you can build an automation to where any person who gets booked onto this estimate calendar starts getting a certain type of follow-up or a certain type of reminder, right? So we'll do more videos on that, but for now, we'll just stay focused on getting the bot rolling. Now, these are the last few settings that you can put in place here. You can allow the bot potentially to cancel the appointment. I like to leave this off. As a salesperson, and it might be a little questionable. You might feel some type of way about this, but I always trained my salespeople not to answer the phone on the day of the appointment because people get they get nervous or they get hesitant or they get a little sidetracked or what have you, right? But if they book the appointment, in my mind, they do want it. And they don't go from being interested in something like painting their house to, oh, well, now I'm no longer interested, just like that. But I don't like giving people the ability to cancel with me. So I always taught my salespeople not to answer the phone on the day of the appointments and to just show up and kind of say, oh, yeah, it's just been a busy day of back-to-back appointments. I didn't even see the call. Because once they get to the appointment, that person 9 times out of 10 is going to see them, see that they're there, see that they came out, they're ready, and they're ready to give them a number, and usually they'll just proceed with the appointment. So I like to keep this option off where canceling the appointment is off. So if someone reaches out to cancel the appointment, it'll just be sitting in the CRM. The bot will not actually cancel any appointments or make any adjustments. But what I do like to do is I do like to allow the bot to potentially reschedule appointments. So some people, they just get tied up or something like that at work, and having the bot be able to reschedule appointments is huge. So your bot will be able to recognize intention. So if a person reaches out and they say they want to cancel, the bot just simply won't respond. But if a person reaches out and says, hey, I might need to move my appointment to another day, the bot will start to go through the process of rescheduling them, right? Now, this is also very important. If the bot doesn't answer or if there's a struggle, you need to receive some sort of notification so that you can jump in and handle the conversation going forward. So it's just as simple as receiving the email notification if the bot doesn't answer, and then you can either enter your email directly, or if you're already, which you should be, if you're a user on your own account, you can click which user you would like to receive that information. So in this case, we would just put office at fortitudedrywallandpaint.com. That way it would go right to his office staff and they could get into the process of navigating that booking or that potential question that the bot wasn't able to answer, right? So we do all that, we hit save. Okay. And then now it's going to ask us, do we want to have it turned off? Do we want just suggestive prompts within a chat window, or do we want it to be fully running on autopilot? I'm going to be choosing autopilot. This means that the bot is going to have full conversations, and it's going to continue as long as you set it up to continue. Because if you go in here to where it says advanced settings, you come down, you're able to set just how many messages you'd like before a bot can come out, before the bot stops sending messages. That way you're not people aren't just running out your budget by constantly messaging the bot. So I like to have a maximum of 25 messages that the bot can send. We like to have a 5-second wait time before responding. And then this is also important too. You want to send the bot to sleep if someone jumps in manually and starts to have a conversation. So you might have an office staff that for some reason or another, maybe they stepped away or they were on other calls and they weren't able to communicate with the client, and that's why the chatbot is talking to them. But once they finish that call, your office staff can step in and continue the conversation, and this would actually put the bot to sleep. Now, this is the last part here. And GoHighLevel has a few different types of offers right now for their AI service, but right now my current plan is 2 cents per response. Okay, and that's why I say it's important to have a maximum amount of messages that a bot can send, because you might think 2 cents isn't really that much, but over hundreds of thousands of messages, it can add up very quickly. And you'd be surprised, there are a lot of people who just hate chatbots. They hate anything to do with advertising. Sometimes you might run across a customer who's just not a customer, but a person that you showed an ad to that has way too much time on their hand, and what they'll do is they'll click your ads constantly so you're charged per click without actually getting a sale, or they'll message your bot just so that they can tell it to fuck off. It's just important to protect yourself, right? So give the bot limitations so that it's not going back and forth with people that don't really need the service, or it won't be beneficial to them, right? So you hit save here, and then we come over here and we can test our bot, right? Now, this is something that I also find important. You want to create, right now there's the existing knowledge base, and that was all the information that you just gave it a little while ago. But if you want to create another knowledge base that it can pull from, you're just going to hit create new. And so we'll type in knowledge, general knowledge for bot. Okay. And now we're able to create some pretty cool knowledge sources. So first, what I want to look at is your web crawler. So the web crawler is where we're going to be adding a website. So we already added the website in the other conversation, but it's still just important to add it here too, because this will go and really scrape that website from top to bottom to make sure that it understands exactly what you do. And it's going to go ahead and extract the data. Now it's going to fetch all the pages and everything like that. And this loading will take a little while. It's fine. Now we want to move over here to frequently asked questions. So you're going to add some frequently asked questions, and you can add these little by little. Again, what I prefer to do is I prefer to come in here to ChatGPT and say, hey, what are some frequently asked questions I could be faced with running this type of business, right? So this is going to actually generate some FAQs for you. And you already know what your frequently asked questions are, so you can fill it out yourself. But for the sake of speed, if you teach ChatGPT about your business in graphic detail, then it can actually generate these questions for you. And then it's just as simple as copy and paste over here into the knowledge base. And that just makes the bot that much smarter. So there's a lot of different things you can do here. Or we're going to go ahead and cancel, save rather, and then additional instructions. So we're going to come over here to additional instructions just to finish things out. And we can see the bot initial message that we already put in there, the intent behind the conversation, which is your goal is to get the customer to book an appointment. And lastly, conversation guidelines. So if you read through this, you can see that it already comes preloaded with some different instructions and things of that nature, right? But if you want to refine this prompt, again, it's just as simple as going into ChatGPT and asking it to help you refine this prompt. So we're going to take this, we're going to copy it, and we're going to come back over here to ChatGPT and we're going to say, hey, hold on. I want to refine these conversation guidelines for a chat bot that supports my business and handles FAQs and appointments. And then we're going to paste the guidelines here. Now, first we're going to give it the information, and it's going to come back, adjust a few things, right? And what I like to do is tell it, make this simple copy and paste text, no emojis or charts. Keep it under 2,000 words. Actually, characters, I believe. Let me just make sure here. Pretty sure it's 2,000 characters. Yes. Keep it under 2,000 characters, no emojis or charts, and any other information that you might want to fill in, such as never discuss pricing, never and only give 3 options for booking an appointment. Okay. And so now everything gets updated here with the 2,000 things. You see your new standards are in there, your new rules, and all you're going to do is take that information, you're going to copy it, and just bring it back over here to the conversation guidelines and paste it. Okay. Now you're all set, and you're just going to hit save. And if you want to test it, then it's just as easy as going over to bot training, sliding over here to the right, saying hello. And of course, we got the first message. I'm interested in an exterior paint job. Okay. So now the bot is, hey, great choice. We can definitely help with this, or we can do that. Let's get started by getting some details. So now it's going to go through the qualifying process, and you can add additional qualifying questions into these additional instructions. Okay. So if you want them to ask things like, tell us more about your project, or what would you like to have done, you can add that in here. Again, it's just a matter of how well can you communicate. AI communicates well if you communicate with it well. So that's how you build out the chatbot. Once you hit save, this thing is live, and it's now functioning on all of the channels that you set up here at the beginning. So it's going to be running on autopilot in your Instagram, Facebook, and SMS. And It'll be answering questions, booking appointments for you, and everything in between. So if you have any questions about how to build something like this, or if you want to look at building an AI infrastructure inside of your business that helps you run everything on autopilot and run at max efficiency, go ahead and click the link in the description. There's going to be an overview of our different build outs and what we do for people. And then if you're interested in getting started with GoHighLevel and growing your business using a top-notch CRM like HighLevel, there's a free 2-week trial. You can click the link down in the description to access that. So I've been Charles. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also leave me a comment. Let me know if there's anything else that you would like me to go over in detail on this page.